Music is very important to me. I love it. I love all the formats. CD, LP, main disc, cassette, MP3, AAC, FLAC, ILAC, WAV, AIFF. They're all great. I love all the formats. Albums, singles, compilations. I love it all. But there are a few tracks out there that really bug me. That I end up, over the years, wrestling with them in my mind. Yeah, wrestling. Do you get it? Do you get it? So, I'm going to be talking about some of these tracks in a few videos. And we're going to start with today's opponent, which is on here, the Lars. Now, first of all, this is a fantastic box set, and if you're a Lars fan, I highly recommend it. But there's just two tracks on here that really bug me. And the first one, well, let me just talk about what this box set is. It's, the CD one is singles and B-sides. Basically songs that didn't make it onto the album. CD 2 is outtakes, studio outtakes. And CD 3 and CD 4, which to me is, I think, the highlight of this box set, are live performances. CD 1's from 1989, and CD 2 is from 1991. But the first track that I've been wrestling with is their most famous track, There She Goes. Now, I did say that these are tracks that didn't make it onto the album, but this is a single version. Now, I didn't realize, well, first off, the single version, obviously, this is the most famous song of the Lars, There She Goes, came out in 1990, and this version, this mix, is what's on the album, but it's not the first release of their single. The single was actually originally released 2 years earlier in 1988, and it's a different mix, and I didn't realize that until in 2000, I was doing work experience in Virgin Megastore, and There She Goes was reissued for a third time to coincide with Sixpence None the Riches, the cover version they did of it, which went big in America. So they re-released this. And the artwork is the same as the 1990 version, but it's the 1988 single mix. The original 1988 had the band on the front cover, along with the B-sides also came out with it. Come In, Come Out, Who Knows. And it's omitted one track, though, which is Man I'm Only Human, and it's put in There She Goes CD-ROM video, which now seems in more of a novelty, especially when you watch the quality of it, very grainy and laughable. But back then, this was the future, and they must have been taking it seriously to admit a very good song, Man I'm Only Human, to cram this CD-ROM video on here. And I don't know, maybe this will be a collector's. I don't know if this will be any worth anything in the future, but highly unlikely. Anyway, going off topic. So I found out once this came on, I didn't realize it was a different mix, and when I heard it, I was like, oh, that's different. And then I saw a video on MTV2, well, back in the time, and with a video that had the same mix as this, and that was the first single. And it's also backed up here by this Lars singles collection, which has, I mean, this basically is this on steroids. So I own this first, and this is all the B-sides from all their 12-inch singles, and also a limited edition 7-inch single that came out later on. And so, yeah, and that's why it's got There She Goes on here, because it's a different mix that's on the album. And it became my favorite mix as well for a while. But I kind of overheard it I've heard it so many times that I've kind of gone back to this version just for a change. So they're both the brilliant mixes, to be fair. So back to this. When I got this, this is, like I say, it's on steroids of the singles version because it has some extra tracks. It has which I'll get back into later on, but it's Timeless Melody, Clean Prophet, and Ride Your Camel, which was another single that was due to come out but scrapped. And it's also got some promos on there and a couple of live stuff. But when the There She Goes came on, I was expecting it to be the same as this version, but it's not. It's a completely different mix. So, it's not the mix from 1990, and it's not the original 1988 mix. But when I looked inside the booklet, it states that it's the 1988 original single. But it's not. So where did this mix come from? They clearly picked the wrong mix. That's the only way I can see it. Or, there's only ever one thing I can think of, and that is, there was a film called So I Married an Ex-Murderer, and on there it had There She Goes theme song, but it had different versions of that song. It had a cover version by the Boo Radleys, I think they were called, and I think I had the Laws on there, and maybe it had a couple of different mixes of the Laws, and maybe that mix was from that film. I don't know. I haven't seen that film since. If anyone out there knows, let me know, because this has been bugging me. I don't know what this mix is. But the thing is, it annoys me because, say a new fan gets into the Laws and they see this box set online, they think, oh wow, look at all these songs and these singles. I don't have these, they're not on the album. I'll pick it up. They're gonna think that this version of There She Goes is the original single. And they might think, oh wow, well that sucks. I'm not kidding, but it's just that the mix is decent. It sounds polished enough, but it's not as good as the original 88 or the 1990 mix. I would have to put it in third place. My favorite, as I say, used to be the 88 version, but I've heard it so many times I've gone to the 1990 version. So I had to actually put those two in joint first place as a draw, because they're both equally brilliant and go from one to the other fine. But this version, I could say so it's in second place, but no, I'm going to put it in third place, just because I'm so annoyed that it's misrepresented here. I just don't know where that single could have come, that mix could have come from. And it just makes me want to start suplexing some people, you know? Anyway, when it comes to I said I had two tracks on here above me. Well, that's the first track. The second track is on CD 2, which is the studio outtakes. Now, to get at this one, I'm going to go to a backstory, just so you can kind of understand how annoyed I am with this track, okay?